is worried about something this morning? Keith is worried. Who's worried? Come on, everybody's got a worry of some sort. Yeah. All right. I mean, we got a little bit of something going on that's bugging us, right? And when you're worried, what do? You fret. You become anxious. You get stressed. You what? Perseverate. Oh, that's a beautiful word. Perseverate. That's what it means. Perseverate and perspire. Perspire. We did. One of the other things that we always do when we worry is we tell ourselves stories. And the stories that we tell ourselves are about how everything is gonna go wrong, right? Collapse, fall apart. Those are the stories that we tell ourselves. We're worried that things are not going to go the way we want them to go. And so we go, oh, well, this could happen and this could happen. And we do everything in the negative. We tell ourselves stories about how everything's going to fall apart. Like if we're worried over money, I'm worried, I keep telling myself these stories of how I'm not going to have any money. I'm going to be out on the street. I won't be able to pay my bills. I'm telling myself all of these stories. Today, we're going to try to retrain our brain that when worry arises, when our peace is disturbed, to go in the opposite direction. The game we're going to play is a game we've always played in the negative. We always tell ourselves, it's totally possible that this person will leave me. It's totally possible that I'll lose my job. It's totally possible that I might get sick. We play it in the negative all the time. So we're going to practice turning it around today and retrain ourselves to think with our higher divine mind. Lesson 45 in A Course in Miracles, it says, God is the mind with which I think. But we're often in the opposite. Ego is the mind in which we think. We look at the world, and all we see is what's wrong. We look at the world, and all we see is those people are really screwing it up. Those people are to blame for why everything is bad. Those people are why I'm in the situation I am in, and you are thinking in the mind of your ego. So, the first step, God is the mind with which I think. Our real thoughts, the real thoughts that we have are not fearful. They're not worrying thoughts. These are the ego's thoughts. This is how the false self sees the world. But when we think with the mind of God, we are thinking the thoughts that created us. We are seeing through a different lens. We see the world through love and peace and joy. This lesson and the game we're about to play, it gives us the tools to sort of Marie Kondo our thoughts and let go of any of the thoughts that we have that do not spark joy, that do not spark love, that do not spark peace. We will not let the thoughts of the world hold us back, this lesson says. We will not let the beliefs of the world tell us that what God would have us do is impossible. Instead, it says we will try to recognize that only what God would have us do is possible. And we like to think of the impossible. Oh, that's impossible. That'll never happen. But if it's God's will, if love is in it, if peace and joy are in it, it cannot fail, the Course says. Because that is God's will, and if we are aligning ourselves with God's will, then what we think is impossible suddenly becomes possible. David Hawkins, in his book, he lays out this ladder of thoughts from the unreal to the real in his book, Letting Go. So he talks about the realm of unreal thoughts. These are our lower vibrational thoughts. We start in shame. That is the lowest vibration that we can have. Shame, and then guilt, and then apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, and pride. These are all of our lower, he ranks them with vibrational numbers. I don't know. It's science, I don't know. Metaphysics, I don't know. But he ranks them. And so shame is the lowest. When we reach pride, the next level of emotion and thought and feeling is courage. Courage. This is where it shifts. When we begin to think, yeah, I can do that. And we're ready to step out in faith. and do what we feel is impossible, but knowing that it's possible because God is with us. After courage comes neutrality, then willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, and finally the highest vibration we can achieve is peace. Peace, he says, is where we experience perfection, bliss, effortlessness, and oneness. It is a state of non-duality, he says, beyond separation, beyond the intellect. It is peace that passes all understanding. And so as we ascend this ladder of thoughts, these ladder of feelings and emotions, things that seemed impossible when we're mired in shame or apathy or grief or fear now become effortless. Once we reach courage and higher, we enter the realm of infinite possibility because we are connecting again with our true mind. We are connecting with the mind of God. Once we reach those higher level vibrations, then God becomes the mind with which we think. We're no longer in the ego's realm of shame and fear and guilt, grief. And Jesus says we can achieve whatever we set our minds to do as long as our basis is in love, as long as we are connected with God's will. Remember, God is love and will is thought. If our thoughts are aligned with love, then whatever we seek to do is possible, even if the ego says it's impossible. If we are aligning our thought, our will, with God's will, which is love, if we are in the thoughts of love, if God is the mind with which we think, everything becomes possible. And Jesus says, when we do this, we connect with that loving God mind, Jesus says, you can do everything I have done and more. You will do greater things. Greater things. That's available to us, Jubilants. When we raise our vibration, the impossible becomes possible. Because the good things we want in this world reside only in the holy mind of love, our holy mind of joy and peace. And they're shrouded at the ego level with these lower vibrations. So the game we're going to play today, it was introduced to me by my teacher, Kyle Cease. It's called the Totally Possible Game. And it's very much like Abraham's exercise that's called a rampage of appreciation, where you just say everything you're appreciative about, everything that in this moment you're thankful for. But this game begins with the sentence, it's totally possible. And then you just say whatever comes to mind. It's totally possible that COVID will disappear tomorrow. And the ego says, that's stupid. That's the stupidest thought I have ever heard. Yeah, we had a president that said that once. And when Donald Trump said it'll disappear tomorrow, I went, he believes in miracles, okay. Yeah, that was like the one thing he said. I was like, and then the next sentence was a grievance. He was almost there. He was almost there. Because I got excited when he said that. But here's the rule. You can have a grievance or you can have a miracle. You can't have both. So when he followed up, COVID will disappear tomorrow with a grievance, he completely canceled it out. Like, he was there. He was so there. Ah, well. So, we have to do this game. We have to be vulnerable to do this game because your ego's going to go, that's stupid. Your ego's going to want to follow it up with a but or with a grievance. COVID will disappear tomorrow except for all those idiots who won't get vaccines. Well, there you go. Now you're not playing the game anymore. Now you're playing it in the negative. Are y'all understanding? Are you getting what I'm trying to, are you picking up what I'm putting down? As they always used to say. So, I just want to give you an example of how I use this game successfully. Has anyone ever, I don't know, gotten cable? Right? And so you call and say, I would like to set up an appointment to have my cable installed. And they say, yes, someone can come between the hours of 10 and 2 between September and January. Right? I mean, getting an appointment, it's like a huge block of time, and you know they're going to come at the last half hour, if not just right after the time window, right? So I had to have the internet service switched out here and at one of my rental properties. So I had two cable appointments between noon and 3. And I looked at Beth and I said, it's totally possible that the cable guy will call me and want to come early. It's totally possible. And do you know it happened not just once, but twice. For both appointments, different cable guys, different installers, called me and said, can I come early? Miracle! It is a miracle. It is a bona fide miracle. Jesus didn't do that miracle. I did. You will do greater things than Jesus. Jesus can't get a cable guy to show up early. Documented. So now you have all the proof that you need that this works. Because I have done greater than Jesus. So I played this game this morning with this presentation. It's totally possible that I'll get out of my own way and let Spirit lead this morning. It's totally possible I won't make a fool out of myself. It's totally possible that this is the best Sunday ever, right? It's totally possible that this game can change the lives of those who are willing to play it with me this morning. So, who wants to play? All right, Bob. Maria. Okay, come on, Bob. You got to come up here because we got the folks have to hear you. Okay. So either microphone. All right. So what we're going to do, Kyle Cease runs this thing every week called the It's Totally Possible Open Mic. And so what I want you to do, Bob, maybe as a starting point, if you had something that you're worried about.
Well, we could talk about recurring dreams.
Okay. All right.
I've had this recurring dream where I'm supposed to check out of a hotel or be out of an apartment by certain time, certain date.
Right.
And for something comes up and I can't, and all my stuff is thrown out.
Ah, okay. So it's totally possible that dream will not come true.
Well, I hope so.
No,
it won't come true.
It's totally possible.
Oh, it's possible.
No, it's not. It's totally possible. That dream will not come true.
Oh, are you saying?
We're playing It's the Totally Possible game.
Ah, okay.
Everything is positive.
My interpretation of that dream was that I'm 68 years old. I'm running out of time.
Ah, okay.
And that was my interpretation.
Gotcha.
I told this to my dental hygienist, the dream, the recurring dream, in conversation. She said, no, that's not what that means. It means that you, as the obsessive compulsive, want everything in order.
Gotcha.
And this dream is your brain saying, no.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good place to start. It's totally possible that you can it's totally possible that you can live a life that feels out of control.
True.
It's totally possible.
And I have anxiety. Everybody has anxiety.
Right.
And one thing, if there's anybody out there on gabapentin, anxiety is one of the side effects. So it's kind of magnified by that.
All right.
Okay.
It's totally possible that your anxiety will disappear.
I like the way you're thinking.
It's totally, I want you to say it.
Okay.
It's totally possible.
It's totally possible my anxiety will disappear.
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's
good deal.
It's totally possible that you will live in total peace.
I love that.
Say it. Make it real in your body.
It's totally possible I am going to live in complete peace?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay,
it's totally possible.
Good.
What else is totally possible for you, Bob?
Are you familiar with the word angst? A-N-G-S-T?
Yeah.
That's how it's pronounced in German. We call it angst.
Angst.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's another word for anxiety.
Yeah.
And
it's totally possible that angst will disappear from your life.
It's totally possible that angst will disappear from my life.
All right.
Natürlich.
It's totally possible that your neighbors will no longer bother you.
It's totally possible that my neighbors will no longer bother me or Keith. Right now, it's a bigger deal with Keith than it is with me.
It's totally possible that your neighborhood will live in peace.
It's totally possible that my neighborhood will live in peace.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Let's see. is there anything bugging me? Well, I need a new truck.
Okay.
And I have put that off, and if you've looked at the prices of trucks lately,
Yep.
going up, going up.
It's totally possible the universe sends you the truck you need right when you need it.
It's totally possible the universe will send me the truck that I need when I need
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
World peace.
Yes. I think
Totally
it's totally possible to heal the planet,
Yes, absolutely.
to heal what's going on the planet.
Yeah.
Just like it was said earlier, Jesus said that we can do what he does and things greater.
Right.
And what we need to realize, we can even heal ourselves.
Yeah. It's
and
totally
we can
possible.
also heal other people as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally possible.
Totally possible.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What else is totally possible, Mario?
Oh, it's totally possible to get the kind of job that you want.
Yes.
It's also totally possible to make yourself eat healthy and be healthy. It's also totally possible to get rid of certain diseases that you have.
Yes.
And I can just continue.
Yeah,
and continue.
keep going. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
It's
What
totally
else
possible.
possible?
It's totally possible that Mario keeps going.
Marion got so old, I don't know if I can remember it. My mind
It's
can be
totally possible that Maria's mind is as sharp as she was when she was 20 years
Oh,
old.
it's totally possible that Maria's mind is as sharp as it was ever since I was 20 years old.
Absolutely. It's totally possible.
It's totally possible. It's absolutely possible.
All right, Maria. You got anything more?
No.
All right. All right. Anybody else?
We-
Okay. Go ahead.
Totally possible.
Totally
that-
possible.
Well, Candace and I like to play together anyway, so
Right. Come play.
and I play with her animals too. But it's totally possible that. Okay, so I have a couple worries. One that I'm not getting better at my profession, and I've been trying to find ways to do that. I practice every day. That's the thing. And actually I've made some motions, but the biggest grievance I have against myself is the fact that I'm disorganized.
All right.
And that I'm also a bit of a hoarder. So I have a disorganized hoard of stuff in boxes in my house.
Okay. So what's possible?
It's possible that I will be able to take apart those boxes and put them in, organize them, give away and sell and throw away things I don't need.
Right.
And have a really nice place to stay.
Right. It's totally possible that
totally
you will
possible.
become organized. It's totally possible that you will become the top in your profession. It is totally possible.
Yeah, it's totally possible. I've already started making tiny baby steps. So one of the tiny baby steps was to join an organization which sponsors twice yearly conventions, and they have seminars on how to do what I do, which is fix violins better, and lots of communication and stuff. And it's also totally possible. So the worry I have with that is that I won't have the money, and I've already told my friends and they've told me it's totally possible
It's
that I'll
totally
be able to
possible.
that I'll be able to raise that money.
Right.
Maybe with some help. It's totally possible my friends will help me, and it'll make the difference between what I feel I can do and what I can really do, which
Right.
is it's also totally possible that I'll start doing what I'm capable of doing that I haven't in the past thought I could
Right.
do.
It's totally possible.
It's totally possible. And I'm also trying to find, yes, it's also totally possible that I'll start building instruments. I've wanted to do this for a
It's
while.
totally possible.
And
yeah.
in simple instruments and maybe more complex instruments, I've wanted to build a mandolin for myself, and I would like to make some other types of instruments. And
Yeah.
it's totally possible I'll be able to do that.
It's totally possible. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
All right. It's totally possible.
So Candace mentioned Abraham earlier, and I've studied Abraham for quite a while, and I think what she's asking me to do is sort of a mashup of the It's Totally Possible game with the Rampage of Appreciation, which is where you just sort of free think and just
Yeah.
kind of go.
Yeah.
So I'll just try that. So
Okay.
one of the things that I'm similar to Michael, I guess, I'm a very creative person, and that's my favorite stuff to do is creative stuff. And I have a regular job that's not by definition creative, but the things that I like to do is like refinishing furniture and making art and interior design and stuff like that. Process of transformation. So my worry is that I'll give into my own self-doubt and not do those things that actually make me happy. And like right now, I've got about 7 pieces of furniture at the house that are just staring at me, waiting to be made beautiful again. So my worry is that I will let fear and self-doubt overcome my creative potential.
All right.
So it's totally possible that even this week I will go down into my shop and gather up my tools and take a piece of furniture and get started on it. And when I finish it, it will knock not only my socks off, but then I can put it on the Facebook Marketplace for sale, and I'll sell it within an hour of posting it. It's totally possible that the minute that one sells, I'll turn around and start another one and have that one done faster and easier than I expected it to, and somebody will walk down the street and see me working on it and say, hey, I want to buy that, even before you finish it. It's totally possible that I will become known for this kind of work and my art and my furniture refinishing, and people will be calling me up and sending me messages and saying, hey, I want you to do a custom piece for me, and they will offer me money that is beyond what I could even imagine, asking for it. And then I will become known in not only Columbia but the Midlands region as an artist and a furniture refinisher, and such that if I wanted to, I could quit my full-time job and just do this kind of thing all the time. It's totally possible that there will be other people who I could teach to do this kind of thing, and they could help, live into their full creativity as well. And we'll have enough money from being able to do the stuff that I love that I could feed into some of the other causes that I believe in, like the environment. I'll be able to make donations and buy a Tesla.
Feel the energy going up here? Tesla. We got there with Tesla.
And now the world is happier because the money that we've been able to infuse, and we'll be able to even have a groundswell of not only people, but messaging on social media, such that our politics will stop being crazy and start abiding by science and saying, yeah, you know what, we do have a crisis in the earth and we're going to fix it. And we'll start doing that, and we'll stop wasting, and we'll stop, maybe more vegans will appear.
It's totally possible.
Not only will we be kinder to the environment, we'll be kinder to our fellow creatures that walk on all fours, and we will become enlightened as a species. It's totally possible. Totally possible that we will all just feed into each other, such that within our lifetimes we'll see a completely different world.
It's totally possible.
Totally possible.
Woo! What's totally possible?
It's totally possible Jubilee will fail and shut down.
It's totally possible.
It's totally possible we'll outgrow this space.
It's totally possible.
It's totally possible our YouTube channel will end up with more subscribers than the old fisherman.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally possible your life, my life, and everybody out there will be more than we could ever imagine.
Oh, yeah. Totally possible.
And it's totally possible the opposite.
Everything is possible, but let's focus on the positive.
Yeah. It's totally possible that Jubilee here in Columbia will be bigger than Jubilee in Nashville.
Oh, it's totally possible. It's totally possible.
It's totally possible that this country will find its footing, and we'll have a new era of peace and harmony and prosperity for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally possible you will become bigger than anybody.
Than Elvis.
Yes, than Elvis, yes.
It's totally possible. If I eat enough banana sandwiches.
Peanut butter and bacon.
Peanut butter and banana. Yeah, bacon, right. Peanut butter and bacon.
So,
Totally possible.
I know we're small and we're trying to make ourselves bigger, but everything's possible.
Everything is possible. It's totally possible.
Yes.
Thank you, Jim. All right, everybody, I invite you this week, play the It's Totally Possible game. That moment when you start to have the seed of doubt, when you are starting to worry or get anxious or perseverate? Did I get it right? Perseverate? Whenever you start to perseverate, I think this is it. It's like back and forth, back and forth. Whenever you perseverate. Perspile, when you, whatever that is. We're making up new words. Whenever Whenever any manner of anxiety arises within you this week, I invite you to play the It's Totally Possible game. It's totally possible that everything works out. It's totally possible that you don't have to worry about a thing, because it's totally possible that every little thing gonna be all right. It's totally possible. I want to remind you of the words from, of course I covered it up in my notes here. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. From A Course in Miracles. We will not let the thoughts of the world hold us back. Actually, let's say that together. We will not let the thoughts of the world hold us back. We will not let the beliefs of the world tell us that what God would have us do is impossible. That's a lot to remember, so let's break it up. We will not let the beliefs of the world tell us that what God would have us do is impossible. Instead, we will try to recognize that only what God would have us do is possible. All right. We will not let the thoughts of the world hold us back. Take that with you this week. When you are thinking the thoughts of the world and they're holding you back, don't let it. You are aligned with God. God is the mind with which you think. God is the mind with which I think. I will not let the thoughts of the world hold me back this week. That, Jubilants, ought to make you say, oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, everybody, for playing with me. I appreciate that. All right.